Throughout history, great empires and sprawling cities have risen, shaping the course of humanity. But some of the most brilliant and advanced societies simply vanished, leaving behind silent monuments and perplexing questions. From the jungles of Central America to the riverbanks of ancient India, we're exploring 5 incredible civilizations that disappeared, and the leading theories behind their mysterious collapse. What could cause a society with millions of people, complex social structures, and monumental architecture to just fade away? The Maya civilization, flourishing in what is now southern Mexico and Central America, was a powerhouse of intellectual and artistic achievement. For over 1,000 years, they built towering pyramids, developed a sophisticated writing system, and created a calendar more accurate than any other in the world at the time. Their understanding of astronomy was breathtaking, charting the movements of stars and planets with incredible precision. Cities like Tikal and Calakmul were bustling metropolises, home to tens of thousands of people, with complex trade networks and a rich cultural life. Then, around 900 AD, the system began to collapse in the southern lowlands. The great stone cities were abandoned, the construction of monuments ceased, and the population seemed to dwindle dramatically. For centuries, the jungle reclaimed what was once a vibrant hub of human activity. What happened to the mighty Maya? One of the most prominent theories points to severe, prolonged drought. Climate data from lake beds and cave formations suggests that the region suffered from a series of devastating dry spells. These droughts would have decimated agricultural production, especially for their staple crop, maize. With dwindling food supplies, social unrest would have become rampant. Malnutrition and disease would have weakened the population, and people may have lost faith in their rulers, who were seen as intermediaries with the gods responsible for bringing rain. This environmental crisis, possibly combined with constant warfare between the city-states and deforestation, could have created a perfect storm that led to the abandonment of the cities as people scattered in search of water and sustenance. It wasn't a single event, but a slow, cascading failure that brought one of the ancient world's most brilliant cultures to its knees. Now, let's journey across the Atlantic to the Mediterranean, to a small island that was once the heart of a powerful maritime empire. The Minoan civilization on the island of Crete was Europe's first advanced Bronze Age society, flourishing from around 2700 to 1450 BC. They were known for their beautiful art, intricate palaces like the one at Knossos with its labyrinthine corridors, and their peaceful, trade-focused culture. The Minoans controlled trade routes across the Aegean Sea, their ships carrying pottery, saffron, and other goods. Their society appeared remarkably advanced, with evidence of complex sanitation systems and a seemingly high status for women. Then, around the 15th century BC, their dominance came to an abrupt and catastrophic end. The palaces were destroyed, settlements were burned, and their unique culture seemed to vanish, replaced by the Mycenaeans from mainland Greece. For a long time, the primary suspect behind the Minoan collapse was the colossal volcanic eruption on the nearby island of Thera, now known as Santorini. This was one of the largest volcanic events in human history. The eruption would have triggered massive tsunamis that could have obliterated the Minoan fleet and coastal settlements. The sky would have darkened with volcanic ash, falling across Crete and poisoning crops, leading to widespread famine. This single, cataclysmic event could have shattered the economic and political foundation of Minoan society, leaving them vulnerable to invasion or internal collapse. However, recent archaeological evidence suggests a more complex story. While the Thera eruption was undoubtedly devastating, some Minoan sites show signs of recovery and continued occupation for a period afterward. This has led some experts to believe that while the volcano weakened them significantly, the final blow may have been an invasion by the Mycenaeans, who took advantage of the chaos to seize control of the lucrative trade routes the Minoans once dominated. The truth is likely a combination of both a natural disaster of epic proportions and opportunistic human conflict. Let's travel east, to the fertile plains of modern-day Pakistan and western India, where another great urban civilization emerged. The Indus Valley civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization, was one of the 3 earliest cradles of society, alongside Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt. At its peak, it was the most widespread of the 3, covering an area larger than Western Europe, with a population that may have exceeded 5 million people. Cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were marvels of urban planning, featuring grid-like street layouts, advanced drainage and sewage systems, and impressive multi-story buildings made of baked brick. They had a standardized system of weights and measures and engaged in long-distance trade. Yet, bafflingly, we cannot read their script, and there are no grand temples or palaces to suggest powerful kings or priests. Their society appears to have been remarkably egalitarian and peaceful, with very few weapons found among the ruins. Around 1900 BC, this highly organized and prosperous civilization began to decline. The great cities were gradually abandoned, the standardized systems fell apart, and the population dispersed into smaller villages. By 1300 BC, the memory of this once great civilization had all but faded away. For thousands of years, its existence was completely unknown until its rediscovery in the 1920s. So what could have toppled such a vast and well-organized society? The leading theory focuses on climate change. The Indus Valley people were dependent on the monsoon rains to water their crops. Evidence suggests that the climate began to shift, becoming cooler and drier. The monsoons may have weakened or changed their pattern, leading to a decline in agricultural output and making it impossible to support the large urban populations. The Gagar-Hakra River, which was a major waterway for many Harappan settlements, began to dry up. This environmental stress would have forced people to migrate away from the cities in search of more sustainable living conditions. Unlike a sudden collapse from war or disaster, the end of the Indus Valley civilization was likely a slow, centuries-long process of deurbanization and adaptation to a changing world, a silent retreat from their magnificent cities. Our next mystery takes us to the vast deserts of Central Asia, along the ancient Silk Road. The Tocharians were a unique group of people who lived in the Tarim Basin, in what is now Xinjiang, China, from about 1800 BC to 900 AD. What makes them so fascinating is that they were a Caucasian people, with fair hair and light eyes, living deep within Asia. Their mummified remains, preserved by the arid climate, are a startling sight. They spoke an Indo-European language, a distant relative of English and Latin, which is the easternmost branch of that language family ever discovered. For centuries, they acted as crucial intermediaries on the Silk Road, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and religions between the East and the West. Their oasis cities, like Kutcha and Turpan, were vibrant cultural melting pots. But after the 9th century AD, the Tocharians and their language disappear from the historical record entirely. Their disappearance seems to be a case of cultural assimilation rather than a sudden violent collapse. Starting around the 9th century AD, Turkic-speaking peoples, the Uyghurs, began migrating into the Tarim Basin after their own empire in Mongolia collapsed. Over time, the Uyghurs became the dominant demographic and political force in the region. The Tocharians were gradually absorbed into this new population. They likely intermarried with the newcomers and abandoned their own language and customs in favor of the emerging Uyghur culture. It was a slow process of cultural replacement, not a physical extinction. The Tocharians didn't vanish, they simply became part of a new people, their unique identity and language lost to the sands of time. Our final stop is in southern Africa, at a site that was once the capital of a great kingdom. Great Zimbabwe was a medieval city that flourished from the 11th to the 15th centuries AD. It was the center of a powerful Shona trading empire that stretched across a vast territory. The ruins of the city are its most famous legacy, particularly the Great Enclosure, a massive circular wall built with millions of granite blocks, all expertly fitted together without any mortar. At its peak, Great Zimbabwe was home to an estimated 18,000 people and controlled the trade of gold and ivory from the interior to the Swahili coast, where it was exchanged for goods from as far away as China. The city was a symbol of immense wealth and power, a testament to the sophisticated social organization and architectural skill of its builders. Yet, by the mid-15th century, this magnificent capital was abandoned, and the kingdom fell into decline. Much like the Maya and the Indus Valley, the most likely culprit for the abandonment of Great Zimbabwe is environmental degradation and climate change. The city's large population would have put immense pressure on the surrounding land. Centuries of cattle grazing could have exhausted the pastures, and deforestation for firewood and construction would have led to soil erosion. Evidence also points to a shift in climate that brought about a period of drought, making agriculture and cattle raising difficult in the region. Furthermore, trade routes may have shifted. As gold sources further north became more prominent, the economic basis of Great Zimbabwe's power may have dwindled, prompting the ruling elite and the population to move to more favorable locations. The fall of Great Zimbabwe serves as a powerful reminder that even the mightiest capitals are vulnerable when their resources run dry. These civilizations, from the Maya to the people of Great Zimbabwe, teach us a profound lesson. They show that no society, no matter how advanced or powerful, is immune to collapse. Climate change, environmental degradation, warfare, and shifting trade routes are not just modern concerns, they have been shaping and reshaping human history for millennia. The silent stones and abandoned cities they left behind are not just historical curiosities, they are warnings, echoes from the past that still resonate today. If you found this journey through lost worlds fascinating, be sure to subscribe to Facts Repo for more deep dives into the mysteries of history.